Hey everybody, welcome once again to the Football Fandemic. We are going to be looking at the last few weeks of the season. We're going to talk about firings and hirings. We're going to be looking at playoff pictures and the Super Bowl all coming up in this topsy-turvy upside down that is 2025. Right here in the Football Fandemic. Well, welcome everybody. I'm Matthew Thomas here with Josh Kolodziejski and Brandon Colmark, and we have been off for a few weeks because of just crazy schedules and holidays, and we've come back to a football league that hardly looks like anything we expected. Well, maybe hardly anything we expected. We're going to talk about all of that stuff going on. We got a lot to do, but before we do, how were your Christmases in Arizona and Wisconsin, guys?
They were, it was good. It was busy. We kind of celebrated a couple different ones. Our kids that were in foster care with us for a couple of years previously, they came over with our other 5 kids. So we had 8 kids all at once. And my wife had to work yesterday during the daytime. And I was the only one with them. And it was a busy household.
I may be the only one here old enough to remember the show 8 is Enough. From the 70s, I believe it was. No.
Yeah, no, I was. Nope, I don't know.
It was about a family that had 8 kids, and 8 is enough, isn't it, Josh?
Oh yeah, maybe more than enough.
Maybe more than enough. Well, that sounds like a Full House. That was another good show. That was not from the 70s. Full House, I think that was 90s. Bob Saget and crew.
Yeah.
Brandon, how was it for you and Abigail?
It was good for us.
Wisconsin area.
Going back a little bit before the 70s, Irving Berlin and Bing Crosby had this thing called a White Christmas. Yeah. And Wisconsin had a White Christmas, which I imagine a little different from Arizona's Christmas landscape.
Yeah, everything in Arizona is beige all the time. So it's beige Christmas, beige Halloween, beige Thanksgiving, beige Walmart.
Yeah.
Oh man, just like a good well-rounded food, you're not supposed to only eat beige. It's probably something I should tell you. You shouldn't only live beige, but
you got to have your greens.
Yeah, green is such a jarring color to me now. Like I see grass, and it's like, whoa, it's like a PTSD, but in a good way, I guess.
What is?
And you see like the Packers home uniforms. Like it's a great color.
Yeah, and then it gets bad again.
Then it gets bad again. Well, in Illinois, we had a little bit of that white, particularly leading up to Christmas, and since then it's been like 60s here. So 50s. It's weird. Leading up to Christmas, we had sub-zero temperatures and lots of snow, and then on Christmas Day, I think it was 60, 61 degrees, something like that. It was weird. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about football. We're going to get going with some football news as we always do. And Josh is going to lead us off with hirings and firings. I guess there's not a lot of hirings, but there is some retainings and some firings. Josh, what do we have?
Yeah, these head coaches did not get the best Christmas gifts because Jonathan Gannon of the Cardinals is out. Pete Carroll of the Raiders is out. Browns, Kevin Stefanski out of Cleveland, and then Falcons, Raheem Morris also gone. Those guys join Ryan Dable and who am I missing here? Who's the other guy that was fired in the middle of the season? It was Dable. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, me too. And I don't have it pulled up.
Brian Callahan. Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Brian Callahan, who could forget that the Titans head coach? All I needed to do, I guess, was scroll down an extra click. But all of those guys go on 6 head coaching vacancies. We can also throw in Cliff Kingsbury will not be back with the Washington Commanders. They parted ways. The Washington Commanders defensive coordinator was also fired, as was Cowboys defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus. So those are some of the openings that have opened up already. Notably, the Browns keeping Andrew Berry around, their general manager, who made the Deshaun Watson trade and basically ruined the franchise for the next 4 years with mortgaging the future and making their salary cap very hard to manage, to navigate around. But they fired Kevin Stefanski. It was Kevin Stefanski that was the issue with the Cleveland Browns.
He was the problem for sure. Because you can't fire an owner.
And Stefanski already getting head coaching interview, I guess, requests from a bunch of these different teams, and he said that he doesn't want to take that like year off, the gap year. He wants to go right back into coaching.
Yeah, he wants to prove that it was the Browns. And by the way, Browns news, Myles Garrett broke the single season tackle, 23. I believe Dwight Freeney got 22 and a half.
That sounds right.
It was Michael Strahan and TJ Watt also with the 22 and a half sacks.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew there were a couple others, and they got so close. But Myles Garrett, as we all know, good player, would love to have had him on our team. We really could use a good rush. But anyway, good for him, I guess. But he's still on the Browns, so is that really good? Kevin Stefanski may be good for him. He's not on the Browns anymore. There are some. Oh, go ahead.
On the flip side of it, I want to bring up the question of how long do we see the Dolphins sticking with their head coach? Well, I know we had week 8 was our deadline.
That was my prediction. I thought by week 8 for sure he was going to be gone, and then he got a few wins in there, and then they fire the GM, but they keep him. It makes no sense to me. I just don't think he's proven that I don't think he's a good coach. I don't think.
I think it mostly has to, I love his run scheme. So I think the run game, he has one of the most creative, him and Matt LaFleur are up there for me for most creative running plays. Although Matt LaFleur didn't do it as much this year as he did last year.
This year was just the inside zone. That was the creative running play.
Yeah. But McDaniel had during this stretch run where they won a little bit more than they lost during the second half of the season. It was that run game keeping them afloat, and also probably worth noting that on the NFLPA surveys that go out every single year, that he is one of the most liked head coaches by his team in the NFL. So that probably helps keep him around as well. And Tua Tagovailoa is also going to likely be out of Miami, so they might give him a chance to either build around Quinn Ewers or bring in a free agent or draft somebody here in April.
How long does Tua have left on his contract?
Man, I think it's 3 years, but I don't know.
He just did that big reset.
I don't know if his contract matters. It's how much can his head take.
I think it's going to. Yeah, I think it's going to be a big cap hit. I think they're going to say it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
you're done.
They might do the Brock Osweiler thing where they package better picks and send him away.
Yeah, boy, that was a fun one. I was going to say I can tell you there is one team that has decided to retain their head coach and their GM, much to the hate of a lot of their fan base, and that would be the Indianapolis Colts. Not necessarily that they hate Shane Steichen, although there are some. I'm going to tell you, there are some Colts fans that just cannot stand the way he calls plays. But Chris Ballard has been, for years, people talking about need to get rid of this guy. It was really culminating, and I think a lot of people thought after this, which we're going to talk about in depth more, this historic breakdown, this tantalizing tease of a season that was then yanked out from under us, that he would be gone. And lo and behold, 36 seconds after the final game, it was announced that he would be retained, which means that decision was made before that game. That game had no input into that decision. And I would say to people who are watching, if you were really paying attention, the truth is when we traded for Sauce Gardner and gave away 2 firsts, that was Carly Ursay or the big 3, however you want to look at who's making that decision. That was them saying, we are going to have him for 1 more year at least, because you don't do that to a new GM. You don't say, okay, take away next 2 years first round picks and then fire this guy and get somebody else. Usually you don't do that. So, anyway, they were retained, and there are a lot of people in Indianapolis that are very angry. A lot of people are mad because, I've been a pro Chris Ballard person for, at least the first few years, but You look at the 10 years of his time here, and we have not gone to the playoffs once. Every other AFC South team has gone to the playoffs at least twice, and that includes the Titans, guys. That includes the Titans have gone twice since we have been to the AFC as the AFC winners. That's bad. That's bad. You look at the overall record since he's been here, throwing out 2017. We'll give him an excuse on that one because, the quick retirement of Andrew Luck. It's 64, 65, and 1. We have lost more than we've won. We haven't won our division in 10 years, and he's still getting to come back. And that's kind of a problem. Something's going on that's wrong. And, who can say, why did he have a lot of bad luck as a GM? He most certainly did. He has had bad luck after bad luck. He came in thinking he was going to have Andrew Luck. He did not. Bad luck, right? He made this Sauce Gardner trade for 2 first-round picks. The dude hardly plays one game. Gone. Bad luck. He gets Chavarius Ward, shut down corner. He, for the first time in his GM career, he says, I'm going to pay some money. He brings in this guy who unarguably is good when he's on the field. That dude then has 3 concussions in 1 year when he had 1 all of the time before that. And now he's talking about retirement. And the truth is, Chavarius Ward said in one of his post-game conferences, he said, when they talk to people, he said, well, I plan on coming back next year, but if I have, another concussion, then it's probably, right there when he said, but if I have another concussion, I might be done. At that point, I'm pretty sure he's not coming back. Or if he does, it doesn't matter because he's half in, half out. He's not sure if he's here. So we spent all this money and, as a GM, he went and got like somebody who looked good, who was shut down. And he goes and gets this other shutdown corner. Both of them are like for this year, and we'll see for after that. But anyway, I'm going on too long. You can tell I haven't had anybody to talk to the Colts about for a long time. So I'm going to try and rein it in. But GM Chris Ballard will be back, as will Shane Steichen, which I still think Shane Steichen could have some good in him. But
yeah.
I just got to say this too. In her press conference, Carly Ursay said, injuries are not an excuse in the first breath. And then we're bringing back Chris Ballard in the second. And the only reason you could say that is because she believes that if the injuries wouldn't have happened, whether it was the injury to Daniel Jones or the injury to Sauce Gardner or the injury to DeForest Buckner or the injury, all these people, we did have a lot of injuries. But if she really believes injury is not an excuse, he probably should have been gone. Anyway, so guys, Chris Ballard.
Welcome back, Chris Ballard. Do you guys have any early favorites for who you like for any of these head coaching positions? Brandon, I'm sure you don't want to see Jeff Hafley take any of these.
Go ahead there, Brandon.
Yeah, I obviously don't want to see Jeff Hafley take any. There's been some talk in the Wisconsin sphere that Matt LaFleur loses on Sunday, he's out, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with. I'm not that disgruntled against Matt LaFleur, right? Speaking of injuries, like the Packers have 15 players on IR, getting a bad blow. Got Micah Parsons. He had a great season. And then the moment he was about to hit a career high, tears his ACL. I mean, that's never what you want to see in a player. Nope. Jordan Love, Malik Willis, both went down in a very short time frame from each other, right? Jordan was in concussion protocol, and Malik went down with his shoulder, and Clayton Tune got to come and show us how he can throw interceptions. I don't want to see Jeff Hafley go. Now, if the consensus with Ed Policy coming in that he wants to set precedence of this new regime taking over as president and CEO of the Packers, he can fire both Brian Gutekunst and Matt LaFleur. I obviously don't want that to happen. I like both of them. If that does happen, my hope is that Jeff Hafley is the next Packers head coach. So if Jeff Hafley goes anywhere, I hope it's right here in Green Bay. Now, Jeff Hafley said an interesting comment a couple weeks ago that he really enjoys working with Micah Parsons, and he doesn't quite want to leave Micah just yet. He wants another season with Micah to see how far they can really push this thing that they've got together. So he might stay. He might say, I don't really want to be coach in New York. I just don't want to do it. Or I don't want to coach in Atlanta. I just don't want to, right? It's like Cleveland. Yeah, he's like, those are more rebuilds. Now, I'm sure he'd be ecstatic to have Myles Garrett. If you're a defensive-minded coach or just any head coach and Myles Garrett is on your team, you're going to be happy. Packers, we have a good thing going right now. I don't want to stunt his career and where Jeff Hafley can go because I think it's quite high. But if he feels like his first opportunity at a Super Bowl is in Green Bay, I would hope he seriously considers that Green Bay is his best shot to become legendary as a defensive coordinator.
Not to continue talking about the Colts, but talk about the Colts for a second because it's a very similar situation. Lou Anarumo has been floated as a name that's getting interviews already, and I really would like him to stay. I felt like it was more exciting watching the Colts defense. Now, at the end, it wasn't looking so good, but when he thought he had Sauce Gardner and Charvarius Ward, things were looking like it was going to be really great. Unfortunately, they barely played together, and he never got that opportunity. He does like his corners. He likes that playing man, and I would like to see him back, but he may be somebody who is mentioned in some of these coaching hires.
Now, someone I wouldn't be surprised if they took a couple of interviews and left Green Bay would be Rich Bisaccia. He's played that head coach role before in Vegas, filling in at times. He's currently our assistant head coach. Like if Matt LaFleur goes down, Rich Bisaccia takes over. So if Rich Bisaccia heads out and let's say he interviews for Atlanta and Atlanta likes him, like I'm not overly upset about finding a new special teams person. And then at that point, I think the contract negotiations would be Jeff Hafley, you're now the assistant head coach along with defensive coordinator. Give him a little bit of cash to incentivize him to stay and make him number 2 in the coaching world of the organization.
Yeah. What about you, Josh? Who do you think is going to be some of the names we see paired with teams?
Well, I think Brian Flores might have his one shot to get into the head coaching realm again, despite the lawsuit against the NFL. I think the boys club probably going to try to keep him out. Boys and girls club, going to try and keep him out. Yeah, and the Titans owner. But yeah. I think the one owner that has control, maybe not of the whole team, but of the decisions of the team. He's not the majority owner, but he does make all of the football decisions. That's Tom Brady with the Las Vegas Raiders. And I think Flores would be the perfect fit there, unfortunately. And there was also the Pro Football Talk report this weekend saying that Brady would be interested in a reunion with his former defensive coordinator. They were together in New England. So I could see Brian Flores, whose defense really turned it up at the end of the season. They only allowed 1 passing touchdown in the last 8 games of the year total. And that was, they don't have like this great secondary. It was because of the pass rush that his edge rushers and linebackers were able to create. So I think that he could be one of the guys. I think Joe Brady from Buffalo, their offensive coordinator, I could see him in Atlanta pairing up with Michael Penix, pairing up with a dominant run game with Bijan Robinson. That's what he's pretty much done. He could also be a New York Giants guy because the whole Josh Allen, Jackson Dart sort of thing. I think Kevin Stefanski, I see him in Arizona, and they have the number 3 pick. They have a chance to perhaps maybe jump the Jets, trade up. I don't know. I don't know if they will trade up to get one of the top 2 quarterbacks, Fernando Mendoza or Dante Moore, but they would have the chance to, and Stefanski would be able to build around that and kind of get a clean slate where he might have a little bit more of a say in whether to bring Deshaun Watson to a team or not. And then Grant Udinski is a guy that I have also heard as a up-and-coming coaching candidate. He was the Vikings assistant quarterbacks coach in 2024. He became the offensive coordinator of the Jaguars this past season, and he's been really skyrocketing up the ranks. I could see him with one of these less desirable jobs like Cleveland or Tennessee.
Poor Tennessee. They just cannot. Yeah. They can't get it together. Okay, so there's our coach firings, our thoughts about maybe who could fill some of these spots. We'll keep an eye on that as we're going, but let's go ahead and look at how these divisions end up. We have been off. I don't even know how many weeks we've been off.
I think 3.
Has it only been?
Oh,
3?
it's been November 11th was our last show. So it's been
all right.
It's been a while.
6 or 7.
That's unfortunate. But, schedules. But anyway, let's look at Josh says he has pulled up here where the divisions stood at that time, and we're going to kind of look at where the divisions stand now, and we're going to talk about that. So, Josh, take us there.
Yeah, let's start with the most chaotic. And I want to preface this. There's a television show called Community, and one of its best episodes was called Chaos Remedial Theory, where the whole idea of this episode is there are the 6 main cast members. They're all at someone's house, and they had ordered pizza. They're playing a game, and they decide to roll a dice to see who has to go pick up the pizza. And one of them mentions, this is creating 7 different timelines based on group dynamics that could potentially happen. And you are creating multiple branches of time here. And they go through each scenario of who goes, whoever leaves, what happens with the rest of the group while that person is out. And in one of them, a person named Troy, played by the childish Gambino, he leaves. And he goes very, very quickly, and he's back very, very quickly. And by the time that he has returned, it has gone from this nice night of playing Yahtzee to a fire, someone having been shot, all within the course of about 3 seconds. And that has been the case, I think, Matthew, with your Indianapolis Colts in the AFC South, where they were 8-2. They had the best point differential in the NFL at this time. When we last spoke, the Jaguars were 5-4. The Texans were 4-5. Nobody was close to the Indianapolis Colts, so surely they have made the postseason.
You would think. But they came back, and there was somebody on fire, and there was somebody shot, and things have looked. So I just want to preface this by saying we had 8-2, and I had finally allowed all of the voices to convince me that maybe Daniel Jones was the answer. Because I want to point out that when we started this season, I was like, I hate that we have Daniel Jones. He's going to get us, how much did I say? I said he's going to get us 8 wins, and then we're going to be in the middle of the pack. Now, I thought that was going to be spread out over the whole season, and it was just going to be like this mediocre, blah, blah, blah. But no, the Colts were looking great. The Colts were winning. Now, yeah, we had like a loss early somewhere in there. I can't even remember where the first loss was now. But we were 7-1, and then we were 8-2, and that's where we left off. And I had just come around, and I'm like, I'm all in on Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going to take us there. I'm okay that we traded 2 first-round picks for Sauce Gardner because we're going to go so far in the playoffs. They're going to be in the high 20s, maybe even the 30s. It doesn't matter, right? Oh, Matthew. Never let yourself be fooled by Daniel Jones, because now here we are, 8-9, exactly what I thought we were going to end up at. We just had it all front loaded, and then we lost everything at the end. Just lose. What a horrific ending. And it shouldn't happen that one guy goes down and it's this bad. That's where your great running back, who was looking like he was going to be the MVP, he was like, maybe he's in the talks. That's where he's supposed to pick things up. And the offensive line are supposed to pick things up, right? And somebody is supposed to come in and do some. No, it's like everything that could go wrong did. Somebody got shot. Somebody was on fire. Somebody who had ACLs burned. It was nuts. Now, out of all of this, I will say, I think we did find out we have a pretty good backup in Riley Leonard. Right? We watched this last game, and yes, they took all their players out about halftime, but that first half, they were playing hard. They wanted to win because they wanted to control that playoff position, right? And then they decided, at halftime. But in that first half, when they were playing hard, when they didn't know that the Jaguars were going to go 41-7 or whatever it ended up being on the Titans, which they should have known. At that point, Riley Leonard was looking good against probably the top defense in the league. I'm not sure if that's true stat wise, but I know Texans defense is tough. Riley Leonard put up 3 touchdowns, looked good. And so do I think that's going to change if Daniel Jones comes back? No, I don't think we're going to have a controversy of any sort. But, before, when I was watching Riley Leonard and I watched him play, I thought he doesn't seem as good. He seems like a very positive guy. He seems like a very energetic guy. He used to get out and run around when he was at Notre Dame, but his throwing wasn't always great. He looked great throwing the ball. His first one to Alec Pierce. And that's the second thing. Alec Pierce is a bright spot for this Colts team. Alec Pierce was in a contract year. So I think he's going to make himself some money. And I hope it's with the Colts this next year. We'll see. But yeah, the Colts, that was the end of their winning. And they didn't win a single thing. Unfortunately, the Jaguars heated up. The Texans heated up. 13 wins, 12 wins, respectively. And they both go to the playoffs. In an AFC where everybody in the playoffs has double-digit wins, unlike the NFC, right? Yeah. NFC has an 8-win team and a 9-win team going in. Who are those bozos? Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Did you mention the fever dream that was Phillip Rivers comeback into the NFL?
Guys. Hey, did you know that Phillip Rivers came back? Guys, a grandpa who had, I don't know if we talked about this or not. I feel like we were, if not, he had a child that was older than Tyler Warren. And he comes back off the couch at 5 years retirement, like less than a week. They called him when Daniel Jones got hurt, and he's like, "Dadgummit, why not?" He came back.
Have you seen the theories on this, Matthew, on why he actually came back?
Well, I'm assuming you're talking about the insurance reasons.
Yeah, I mean he's got 10 children.
He's got 12 children, sir.
12 children. I thought it was 10.
I thought it was 12. I might be wrong.
His estimated insurance premiums were like $6,000 a month, right, if that lapsed. And that's serious.
It was just about to, and now he's got 5 more years, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And the other side of it is he was also coaching a high school team running the Shane Steichen offense.
Yes, he was.
Like the offense was not that dissimilar
every week.
Yeah.
And so they were on the same page. I do believe, I'm not going to lie, I think Phillip Rivers came in and played pretty well. I think the rest of the team did not play well enough. I think he could have got us some wins. Now, when you look at the 2 games he played, I think he only played 2, right?
3.
3. In 2 of those, I think 1 we were out of it, but 2 of those we were in it right at the end. The first one, who were we playing?
It's the Seahawks.
Oh, the Seahawks, who have the best record in the NFL. We were in the lead with just a few seconds to go, and they came down and got a field goal. Defense and special teams let us down there. The next one, whoever that was, I'm not even looking back because I've just been...
The 49ers.
Yeah, okay, well, I got you here, so that's great. The 49ers. We were in that one right at the end, too. There was one that we were not. I can't remember who it was, and you probably know off the top of your head. But
this one I do not know. It looks like the Jaguars.
Oh, yes.
Jaguars.
So anyway,
23-17.
Phillip Rivers, he came in and he played smart. He was moving the ball where he needed to. Yeah, he was 44. He wasn't going to be running. He said, "Nobody expects me to be running. I didn't run when I was younger." But unfortunately, we couldn't pull out. Now, would that have been the most amazing story? Yes, it would have. Phillip Rivers.
Didn't he have a rushing touchdown? Phillip Rivers ran it in for a touchdown, didn't he?
That might be right.
This year?
If it was.
Yeah.
I think he might be right. I do think that might have happened.
or he
ran up really
he at least had a run in the red zone where he was going for a touchdown.
And he got maybe like the 1 yard line or so. Anyway, I should know this of all people, but I don't. But yeah, I was not against Phillip Rivers. And so here's what's good about it. Phillip Rivers came back. He could have taken us there. That would have been the most amazing story ever. It didn't turn out that way, right? But then Sauce Gardner also didn't turn out like the amazing story we thought he was going to. So many things. Secondly, I think Riley Leonard improved because Phillip Rivers was back. I think him getting to sit there and like he obviously lives down the road from Phillip Rivers. They know each other really well. They still talked every week also. And getting to kind of really be in there, I think Phillip Rivers was really kind of pouring into him in all of that time. And then, he got that last game start. So I think it was good. It was weird. It was a Jeff Saturday sort of coaching call. Nobody in the NFL saw it coming. Everybody laughs at it because it didn't work out. But if it would have,
it was fun.
Everybody would have been like, off the charts. So
now
now he's getting some. He's getting some head coaching interest now. So he got his name back in the spotlight, and now he could be an NFL head coach instead of just the St. Michael high school head coach. Yeah.
That was my other prediction was I don't know if he'll get a head coaching job, but I feel like he would be a pretty decent offensive coordinator in the NFL. So if one of these offensive coordinators moves up, I could see Phillip Rivers coming in coaching, and then that puts him back on the insurance.
Yeah. And the other thing that was good about him coming in, besides getting the insurance, is that he brought like a fire to the Colts that they needed. I think Daniel Jones is like a really good steady player, and that's great. Phillip Rivers brought back in this fire and this like passion, like, come on, guys, we are not out of this, but we were. But I think that was really good, and I think he could bring that to another team, even if he's like an offensive coordinator or a quarterback's coach or whatever he might end up doing. I think he brings something to a locker room that's really needed.
Yeah.
Let's look at some other divisions. AFC South, we'll just say this. It was definitely the upside down, what this show was named after. We thought of several names that could have been. One of the close contenders was Our Pets' Heads Are Falling Off, because that's what the Colts were at the end. But let's go on to some of these other divisions, because there's some other ones that are really, really strange right now. What else do we got here?
Yeah, well, in the AFC West stayed the same as it was in terms of the rankings, but most notably, the Kansas City Chiefs, not in the playoffs. Patrick Mahomes torn ACL. Gardner Minshew tore his ACL. They moved on to Chris Oladukin. He got hurt in this last game, so they went to Shane Bueckley. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. And they lose to the Raiders. But the Kansas City Chiefs miss out on the postseason. Patrick Mahomes probably going to miss a little bit, at least, of the early season next year. Both the Broncos and Chargers are in.
Worth saying, do the Raiders have the number 1 overall pick? I know they're tied with the Titans at 3-14, but
the Raiders do have it goes Raiders, and then the Jets, and then the Cardinals are the top 3 right now.
Titans are 4th with a 3-win season?
Yeah. The tiebreakers do not go in their favor.
That is too bad. Too bad. Titans had the number 1 pick last year. They definitely have the record to have the number 1 pick this year, but they don't. Okay, but the Chiefs lose to the guys with the number 1 overall pick. Now, granted, it's the last game, nothing to play for. Everybody's hurt, everybody's out. Travis Kelce probably didn't even play. I don't even know. I'm not watching them.
Yeah, and you're trying to keep a franchise quarterback from going to Las Vegas that you have to deal with across from right. Patrick Mahomes. But it turned out the Giants couldn't hold up their end of the bargain, and they beat the Cowboys, so they didn't end up with the number 1 pick, which they would have if they would have just tanked against Dallas in that last week. Yeah. But it'll be a weird postseason without the Chiefs. It'll also be a weird postseason without Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. The thrilling game this last Sunday night decided the division. Again, the rankings stayed the same from November 11th to now, but it ended with some fireworks on Sunday Night Football, where there were 4 lead changes in this fourth quarter winner-take-all game between these two hated rivals. And Lamar Jackson completes this sea of hands pass to Isaiah Likely on 4th down and long to get Baltimore into field goal range, only for Tyler Loop to miss a game-winning field goal and put Pittsburgh and Aaron Rodgers into the postseason.
And can I just say, AFC North, Aaron Rodgers, they have 10 wins. But is there ever a team that you're just like, they're not really that good? This is one of them.
But it's Mike Tomlin. Like, you say that all the time about Mike Tomlin.
We say
it's like every year he's got a winning record. He's never had a losing record as a coach.
And he made the playoffs.
It's impressive.
I think they're going to go out early. Ravens at the beginning of the year, we thought, man, these guys are going to be some of the top dogs. They definitely were not. They had a big hole to dig out of. They couldn't quite do it. They ended up with the same record as the Colts.
Yeah.
And that's more the trajectory, the feel I thought the Colts would have. A lot of losses in the beginning, some wins in the middle. At the end, we're fighting for a playoff spot and we don't make it. That's exactly what I thought was going to happen. That's not how it turned out for the Colts. But yeah, Lamar out. Bengals out. Browns, of course. But the Steelers, they win it, but nobody's really confident.
Is Joe Burrow going to retire? That's the other question to answer about the Bengals.
I doubt it. And they're not firing. So. They're keeping their head coach and GM also. So if there's, a team we can look at and say, hey, we're not the only ones. That's the other one. Bengals right there. They just keep keeping them.
There's also weird reports out of Baltimore, like from their beat writers, well sourced within the team, that the team is not happy with Lamar Jackson and is going to actively shop him perhaps during this offseason. So that would be a huge headline. And then Joe Burrow, also, he could force a Carson Palmer. People have been speculating that. There's been no reporting to that because of all of his comments about being melancholy and sad about the season and how the Bengals have performed the last 3 years, that he could want out. But obviously he's under contract.
Arizona.
That would, that would be fun. I'm sure they would welcome him with open arms down here. Yeah, that is where. Well, he took a brief. Carson Palmer took a brief stop with the Raiders. I don't think Joe Burrow wants to do that. Maybe he does. So with all these quarterbacks out of the postseason, Josh Allen has one of the easiest paths to the Super Bowl that he's ever had. He doesn't have to go with Mahomes, Jackson, or Burrow. Doesn't have to play any games against them, except the Patriots are back. The dynasty has returned.
Are back, man. 2 wins up on the Bills. Patriots. Them and the Seahawks are the 2 big teams, right?
Well, the Broncos got the 1 seed.
Broncos.
Right, the Broncos. I always forget because Bo Nix, we all heard from somebody that he was just not good at all.
The Broncos defense is very, very good. Yes.
Yeah, it's like when they won Super Bowl 50. Their quarterback was decrepit and old, but their defense took his body across the finish line.
When they won that Super Bowl, their quarterback might not have been able to throw it, but he was very smart. I don't see that with Bo Nix.
Yeah, you got the flip side, right? You got the athleticism there. The athleticism,
not the brain. But yeah, well, we'll get to that one in a minute. But yeah, with the Patriots, they definitely are back. Jets are the exact same place the Jets were every year, right?
They might even be worse off.
Yeah,
because they lost all of their games this month by 20 plus points, which was the first time that any team has lost 4 consecutive games by 20 plus points in the history of all bad teams in the NFL. The 0-16 Lions, the 0-16 Browns, the 0-14 Buccaneers. None of those teams lost 4 straight games by 20 plus points. Only Aaron Glenn's New York Jets.
I have to confirm this, but I saw a report that another first in the NFL season was the Jets were the first team to not throw an interception.
Not catch an interception.
To not catch an interception?
Yes, they did not record a single interception at all this season. Justin Fields threw a couple, I think. Brady Cook, who for some reason was I thought I had tweeted something about Brady Cook in 2023 when I was watching him with Missouri. Turns out I did. I said, I don't understand how a D1 quarterback can attempt that sort of pass against an Alabama defense. I don't know what pass I was talking about, but obviously it was not a good pass. And he was starting games for the New York Jets these last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
All right. So the report I saw, Josh, what you says makes sense. I read it as the Jets are the first team in history to finish the season without a single interception. I was thinking offensively.
Yeah. No,
I'm like
defensively.
Yeah. Defensively, that's rough too. And the record before that was held defensively 2 interceptions with the 2018 49ers.
So we're gonna come back to this, but when you look at that Detroit, group that was so strong last year, Aaron Glenn left and Ben Johnson left and whoever was the dude under Aaron Glenn left, right?
Oh, there was a guy, the offensive coordinator, Tanner Engstrand, was Ben Johnson's guy.
Of all of them,
and he went to the Jets.
Ben Johnson is the one that comes out shining like a star.
But
Yeah.
he also went to the best situation, right?
He did go to a good situation, but it's not like the Lions like changed their personnel a lot. Their situation should have been just about the same. Now, the Jets, let's be real, that's never a good situation. Aaron Glenn, was he the problem? Who knows? I mean, they fired, what's his name? Saleh, who went to the 49ers and is now in the playoffs, looking good. But, yeah.
They also cut Aaron Rodgers, right?
They cut Aaron Rodgers.
That was a big story, too.
Where they're at. Yeah.
Now, I do have to point out, because Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell, the Bears and Lions, they are in the same division. And which team came out on top between the two of them? Record-wise, the Bears won the division.
Yeah.
But they couldn't beat Dan Campbell. They couldn't do it. Ben Johnson, it's going to be held over his head for a while.
Make it to the playoffs, so it's not going to stop him there. We'll see if another NFC North team this week can, but they have the same record as the Lions, so maybe they have that same something as the Lions.
You mentioned Robert Saleh, who has done just a phenomenal job with the 49ers. They are in the playoffs despite basically every first-string player of theirs being injured. And in this last game, Tatum Bethune, who was their backup linebacker, and their other backup linebacker were also injured against the Seahawks. So they could be even, they're onto their third string and fourth string guys in some cases, and Robert Saleh has been able to make it work. They lose a game to the Seahawks that was for both the NFC West title and for the number 1 seed in the NFC, 13-3. The run game for Seattle looked really good. Maybe they finally have that run game going, and if that's the case, they become even more dangerous. Their defense has been good all season long. They get the number 1 seed. The Rams and 49ers from this division are also in the playoffs. Meanwhile, the Arizona Cardinals went 0-8 since our last show, and as we mentioned earlier, fired their head coach.
Sounds like the Colts, except they didn't fire anybody. This division, Seahawks, Rams, 49ers, best record, best division in football. And at the point we were at, the Rams looked like they were a shoe-in for, best team and MVP and all that business. Some of that's cooled down, but the Seahawks heated up. 49ers stayed right there in that division. That's a tough division. And there was a time we predicted all 4 of these teams that would make it. They didn't. I think it was the Cardinals that fell out that time too. Those Cardinals keep letting us down. Because otherwise this division, but I mean, when you're playing against each other, it's hard to have 14, 12, and 12 when you're playing against each other. And they did. So they had to take it out on somebody, and that was the Cardinals.
Going up to the NFC South, the woebegone NFC South, the Carolina Panthers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going head-to-head, trading losses throughout this last part of the season. The Panthers alternated wins and losses over these last 8 weeks. They would win a game, they'd lose a game, and it happened. They beat the good teams and lose to the bad teams, and they play the Buccaneers in the final game of the season. If they win, they are the NFC division South winners. They lose to fall to 8-9, but there is hope, because if the Falcons can beat the Rams, the Falcons had to beat the Rams the prior week for us to even be in this situation. The Falcons somehow beat the Rams the prior week, and they come to take on the New Orleans Saints, 2 hated rivals that are both terrible this year, go up against one another for a chance at the postseason, except not their own postseason. It's a proxy war between Carolina and Tampa Bay. And if Atlanta wins, Carolina is in despite losing. And yes, Atlanta beats Tyler Shook and the New Orleans Saints, who are red hot down the stretch. But noontime, 1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins able to get the job done and send the Carolina Panthers to the playoffs.
Panthers to the playoffs with 8 wins. And you know what's funny? Panthers, Bucks, Falcons, all 8-9, right? Horrible division. This is a horrible division. But then the funny thing is, you look at the NFC North, and there are 3 teams at 9-8. Well, no, one of them only has 9-7-1, but they only have one more win than these 3 teams that we think are so bad. What is going on in this world? Because we thought the NFC North was going to be the division to have like 3 teams go in. I thought at the beginning of this year. three teams are probably going in from there, and I don't mean to be anything mean, Josh, but I thought it was going to be the Bears, Packers, and Lions, and I thought the Vikings were going to be strong. But I mean, you got 9 wins. We're not to that division yet. We're on the NFC South, horrible division, and 8 wins gets them in. 8 wins, not even a winning record, and they're in the playoffs.
That they are. It's the second time that a Panthers team has won the NFC South with a losing record, by the way. And
that strong of a
they won a game once the last time they were in against the Arizona Cardinals. We'll go to the NFC North now, where last year in 2024 it was Detroit number 1, Minnesota number 2, Green Bay number 3, Chicago number 4. Hence the upside down. It's Chicago number 1 this year, Green Bay number 2, Minnesota number 3 due to head-to-head because they won twice against the Detroit Lions, who fall into 4th place. Just a weird sort of division where the Vikings were 4-4 at one point, having just beat the Detroit Lions. They lose 4 straight, basically out of the postseason. J.J. McCarthy looks like the worst quarterback at this time that has ever played. And then Max Brosmer comes in, and he looks even worse by throwing 4 interceptions in his only start because J.J. McCarthy was concussed against the Seattle Seahawks. So he throws one of the worst interceptions we've ever seen as well. McCarthy comes back for a couple of weeks. He looks good this time and like legitimately plays well against both the Commanders, the Cowboys, and a first half against the Giants before he injures his hand, misses a week. Max Brosmer comes in on Christmas and still plays a terrible game. He only throws for 54 yards, but the Brian Flores defense against the Detroit Lions was so good because they don't have Ben Johnson anymore. That was Brian Flores' kryptonite, that they forced 6 turnovers, make Jared Goff look like Jared Goff of his rookie season, and win 23-10. That win gets the Green Bay Packers into the postseason, so they don't really have to play for a whole lot. They're already locked into the 7th seed for the final 2 weeks of the season. So even though the Packers only have 9 wins, they didn't even have to try the last 2 weeks, and they get into the postseason that way. But the Vikings, a roller coaster, 4 straight losses. Then they end the season with 5 straight wins. They have a winning record. The Lions beat the Bears this last week. Every team has a winning record, at least 9 wins. But the Bears come out on top of the NFC North because
with a loss in the last weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Against the Lions. Yep.
Against the Lions, yeah. And they somehow come out with Ben Johnson in the 4th quarter winning so many games because they were never I don't know, maybe they were once or twice, but it felt like they were never winning until the very end of the 4th quarter. So
Yeah, they had a lot of 4th quarter comebacks this season. But my probably favorite moment of the Bears' 4th quarter moments was against San Francisco. Now, of course, the Bears lost that game. That's why it's one of my favorites. But this is like the genius of Kyle Shanahan and why he has never been fired from San Francisco, despite a couple really bad seasons. He watches the Bears line up on the final play of the game, and he was about to take a timeout, and he's like, they're lined up poorly. This is not going to go well for them. I am keeping my timeout. It does not call his timeout. And that's exactly what happened. They went out there, they were lined up poorly. He had the advantage, and the 49ers won. And in his post-game press conference, he's like, yeah, I saw that. Wasn't going to call the timeout. Didn't need to reset my defense. They were great. But I feel like 99% of the time, coaches take that timeout, reset their defense, and get good to go. But he's like, their offense is not mature. And he went right there for it. The brilliance of Kyle Shanahan. It was one of the most impressive moments of the season. Sticking on the NFC North, right?
Yeah,
Packers.
About the Packers.
Packers locked in before we even played the Ravens. Second to last week of the season, which was mostly a Malik Willis game up until he had his shoulder injury.
And 2 weeks to go. Did you?
And you couldn't do anything.
Time? Did you have 9 wins?
Yeah.
And so 2 weeks and you still are locked in.
We couldn't go to 6th seed.
NFC.
We couldn't go to the 6th seed. We couldn't be knocked out of the playoffs. 2 weeks.
Fortunately, the AFC was right up until the last second. I think it was the Sunday night game was still deciding were the Baltimore Ravens going to be in or not?
Really, for the NFC, it was seeding, and then it was the NFC South. I mean, that's what went up to the last week, right?
Well, I mean, the NFC East, except for the Eagles, they had really not much. We haven't talked about them yet. They weren't doing much in your division either.
But the most interesting point, player conversation we're going to have is one of Matthew's all-time favorite discussions of players is next year, the Minnesota Vikings quarterback, is it going to be Aaron Rodgers?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think I heard, not Josh, he's a faithful, but I heard other Minnesota Vikings fans talking in sad head-hung tones about Sam Darnold, because you guys had Sam Darnold. You could have kept Sam Darnold. You let Sam Darnold go to the Seahawks, and look what Sam Darnold did this year. Can you imagine what he would have done with you guys again?
Would have been good.
Yeah, the 4 weeks has made Vikings fans everywhere go completely delusional. I have seen like legitimate things like, oh, let's go trade for Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson this offseason. Why would the Chargers want to give up Justin Herbert? Why would the Bengals want to give up Joe Burrow? The Ravens, I guess they do want to maybe get rid of Lamar Jackson, according to some reporting. So, I mean, maybe. So we are all in a weird headspace in Minnesota. Since I'm in Arizona, I've removed myself from whatever brain virus is affecting those in Minnesota right now. No, it's not going to be Justin Herbert. It's not going to be Joe Burrow. It's probably not going to be Lamar Jackson. It's going to be JJ McCarthy and like Jimmy Garoppolo.
Or the dark horse here, Russell Wilson, Minnesota Viking.
No, thank you.
Oh boy! And to think, there was a time when Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield were both leaving their teams, and I'm like, man, I hope we don't get either one of those.
Yeah.
Yep. Look at Sam Darnold. Anyway, you were saying what, Brandon? I'm sorry, I took it in a different direction.
Well, my question was, hopping back to the AFC, but Aaron Rodgers, we associate him mostly with the NFC North. He signed a 1-year deal with Pittsburgh. We know this, for like $10.5 million. Not a super big cap hit. And the rumor mill is saying that he's interested in another season, but he hasn't signed anything with Pittsburgh yet. So is that final season actually not going to be in Pittsburgh, but in Minneapolis, a 1-year, one and done sort of deal? Is this the JJ McCarthy bridge plan? Is sit him behind Aaron and pray?
I'd be interested in it, but I think if you do that, you're dumping McCarthy. I personally still think McCarthy has, based on what he showed these last couple of weeks, I think he has the both mental fortitude and physical fortitude, if he stays healthy, to be a good quarterback in the NFL. But I mean, there's still that 4-week stretch. There's still the injuries that are bothering. So I would not.
Who did he play in that 4-week stretch?
They played Washington, Dallas, New York, and then the second stringers of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I will say that
about that 4-week stretch yet.
I will say that overall, I'm not like super upset with JJ McCarthy, right?
Well, of course you're not.
He does have
in your division.
Well, as a fan of football, right? Not out here, not in Packerland. Like, he has upside, the same way that Anthony Richardson also had upside, but different upside. I do think it's just a little bit of fundamental work, and JJ McCarthy is middle of the pack in the NFL, and he can potentially break into top 12 quarterbacks. Now, if you're going to make a trade in the offseason, I think the soft spot trade would be Justin Herbert. And what you do is you send a couple picks and you send JJ McCarthy down to Harbaugh, because they played together in college. Like, Harbaugh was interested in bringing him to LA initially. And so I think that's kind of the play. I think the soft spot is still there, and you execute on that while it's still kind of fresh.
Trade for Riley Leonard.
I just don't see the Los Angeles Chargers giving up on just a proven commodity that Jim Harbaugh has gushed about for a chance at JJ McCarthy, unfortunately.
McCarthy, who's looked so good.
But what if it's What if it's JJ and 2 firsts for Justin Herbert?
I don't think they get rid of their quarterback, a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, even for those first round picks. I mean, sure, yeah, I would want that. The
Vikings would do that.
Like, I would do that in a heartbeat. Like, if I'm the Chargers, I have absolutely like no reason to like let Jim Harbaugh and his love. He just loves every quarter. Like, he talked about JJ McCarthy the same way he's talking about Justin Herbert. So I don't know if the relationship was as strong. I'm not saying it was weak at Michigan, but I don't know if it was like any stronger or weaker than the relationship that he currently has with Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, a backup quarterback is important. And you talked about, he has potential the way AR had potential. We didn't really ever get to see AR as a backup this year because of his ocular problem.
That is the thing that I would like to happen, is not Jimmy Garoppolo, but a trade for Anthony Richardson and a quarterback competition between McCarthy and Richardson in training camp. That would be my dream scenario.
I will say,
my dream scenario would be Justin Herbert, but that would be my dream realistic scenario.
Kevin O'Connell is, a bona fide quarterback whisperer. So I think Anthony Richardson and Kevin O'Connell is probably Anthony Richardson's best shot at being an actual NFL quarterback. No offense, Matthew. No offense. Right. But
I was hoping that if Daniel Jones got hurt, we would have AR as the backup and we'd get to see. Like I said, we didn't even get to see anything. I mean, it's almost like he's not in the conversation at all. Everybody's like, Riley Leonard's going to be our backup. It's like, what about Anthony Richardson? And I still don't know what's going to happen with Anthony Richardson. I don't know what's going on in that building, to be honest.
We'll give you that 3rd round comp pick back that we got for Daniel Jones. So those are where the NFC East, nothing really changed. All the Cowboys bad, Washington bad, New York bad, and then Philadelphia.
What's different is Washington looked good last year, and we all had high hopes for him. But from the time we ended, we already knew that they weren't living up to that. They've proven that. Eagles. Yeah.
So we have finished our look back. Let's do a quick look ahead to this weekend, where we have 6 wild card games, including a couple of rivalry games. Probably one that we'll get into. Save best for last. Oh, well, actually, no. Let's do Bears and Packers for Brandon. 2 teams that have met once in the playoffs before in the NFC Championship game. They met twice in the playoffs. Yeah. So the Packers won the NFC Championship game back in 2010, and now they have a chance to go into Soldier Field and perhaps remind the city of Chicago that it's not just Aaron Rodgers that owns them. It's just a lease to whoever the Packers quarterback is.
By the way, I just want to throw out there, I'm in Illinois. Lots of Bears fans around. You don't know how many times I've heard, you know how the Green Bay Packers are owned by so many people? They got one more owner this week. It was Caleb Williams. I heard so many people talk about Caleb Williams owning Green Bay because in that regular season game, they were trying and they couldn't beat the Bears.
Yeah, and you also have to take into fact that Jordan Love didn't play that whole game.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
Neither did Josh Jacobs or half of our offensive line. Or 3 of our receivers, right? There's a lot of stuff in there, right?
I see you think that this is going to go an opposite way.
Well, the betting lines would indicate so. Packers are a 1.5 point favorite right now, right? Now, as we know, Packers played their second strings this past week and sat a lot of people the week before as well. It was Jordan Love was the backup quarterback in Minnesota in case of emergency. Like he cleared concussion protocol. He was good to go. We're going to have a full game with Jordan Love. We're going to have a full game with Jaden Reed, with Christian Watson, with Matthew Golden. Even though Matthew Golden hasn't done anything this season, this could be his game. And I've been saying that every week. This could be Matthew Golden's game. I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for something.
Curse? You guys got a wide receiver in the draft for the first time forever, and look at your season.
We're in the playoffs, Matthew. Your season's over.
Playoffs.
That's right.
Barely.
We secured the playoffs 2 weeks before the season ended.
Yeah.
That's not barely.
You didn't have to do anything because of your division, not because you were so good.
It's
Not
because we
you had so many wins. Let's be real.
It's that tie that really did it for us.
It is. Boy, that tie threw me all year long.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jerry Jones, for three reasons. As you know, Packers also claimed Trayvon Diggs off the waivers. Now, people might be like, "Oh, well, it's just Trayvon Diggs. He hasn't done much, right?" And that is true. He hasn't done much. But you know who also hasn't done much? Keyshawn Nixon. So I would take Trayvon Diggs playing with Keyshawn Nixon as like our two secondary guys, and going forth. I'm optimistic Packers win. You know, we're going to have a healthier team. Matt LaFleur on the second half of the season has been more aggressive in his play calling and trusting his guys to get out there and get stuff done. And the Packers, 80% of the time, have gotten out there and got stuff done. So I'm hopeful for it. Now, the thing I'm going to absolutely hate if the Packers lose this game, there was this big thing in Ben Johnson's first press conference as a head coach for the Chicago Bears, where he said, "And if I'm going to be honest with you, I kind of enjoyed beating Matt LaFleur twice a year." And the Packers, what we thought, squashed that in our first regular season meeting when the Packers won. And then the Bears won the second game. And now the Bears have the opportunity. Ben Johnson has the opportunity to beat Matt LaFleur twice. Well, this year, right? This season, right?
Year,
not in 2026. You know, we haven't played more than one game in 26. And now it's going to resurface, and they're going to be like, Ben Johnson knew this whole time. They're like, it's unstoppable. And you know who the first person is to tell me this? I think you all can guess. Our biggest crap talker,
Harris.
Josh Haupt.
Josh Haupt. I was unsure there for a second.
Our biggest trash talker we have in our world is Josh Haupt, and he is going to send that to me the moment this game is done. The moment it happens, it's going to come to me. Yeah, both of you are in that group chat, so you're both going to get it too. But I like the Packers.
I'm going to say this: we're going for predictions here on this week. Brandon, do I have to ask? What's your prediction? Who wins?
31-17 Packers.
Oh, you're going score and everything. I'm just going winners. I'm not a big score guy. I'm not very good at that. But say Packers.
Neither am I, but I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a convincing win.
The Bears over the last 2 weeks have released fully their two secret weapons in Luther Burden III, their rookie wide receiver, and in Colston Loveland, their rookie tight end, who both have had big games against the 49ers and then against the Lions. It's time. It's the Chicago Bears 23, the Packers 17.
And
I don't like that.
I'm going to go I think the Packers are hiding strength these last 2 weeks, getting healthy, hiding strength. But I think it's a fluke year. It's the upside down. And I think the Bears are going to win this one in the fourth quarter as per usual. And I think it's going to be a long off season for Brandon to have to hear all of that. I think the Bears are going to win this one. It's going to be closer. It's going to be like a few points. It's going to be like a field goal difference or less.
Now, I think it's with the exception of Lambeau this season, 3 of our 4 last meetings have come down to a field goal. Yeah. We know last season, right? Both games, one of them, the Packers blocked the field goal, which ended the game. And the second game last season, the Bears made that same field goal. And so, like, these games, past 4 games have been close, and 3 of them have come down to field goals.
So it all depends on if the Bears can put it together or if the Packers can put it together. But I am going to not anything against the Packers. I just think it's a weird feeling. I think the Bears are going to win this one this year, and it's going to feel bad for a long time.
Here's where we come full circle. If the Bears win, as both of you are predicting, is Matt LaFleur fired?
I think it would be crazy to fire Matt LaFleur. I would hire him to be offensive coordinator of Minnesota in the snap of my fingers.
I think Matt LaFleur's got more safety than that. I didn't hear any of this talk until you told me about Matt LaFleur.
I hear it every day.
Well,
yeah. It all comes down from Ed Policy, like our new president CEO, who makes that hiring
Well, you definitely have always known more about the Packers than me, so I wouldn't doubt it. But
I think it's premature to fire him.
I
a man
also
with
do. You've had winning seasons like forever, so
I think he's made the playoffs every season but one that he's been head coach.
Yeah.
Like it's a good record, right? And he's had a couple of MVP seasons from a quarterback as well.
And you guys have had some injuries this year, so it's not like there's not reason.
Yeah, I mean, imagine Micah Parsons coming back. Like, that man has a drive that is like no other.
Well, that was probably the hardest one we're going to pick here. Let's jump back up and hit Rams-Panthers. Do I even have to ask? Panthers, Rams.
Here's where I'm torn on it. All right, here's my torn. The Panthers can't beat bad teams, but they can beat good teams, and they've only done that all season. Do the Panthers win the Super Bowl? It's just good teams from here on out.
Well, that would be
Bryce Young. Bryce Young comes out of nowhere, Super Bowl champion over all of these other quarterbacks that were like, they're the most generational guy. He's like, he just does it.
Well, I guess if there was going to be an upside down, that would be an upside down right there. But
the Panthers did beat the Rams in the regular season this year. It should be worth noting. So
they beat good teams.
I'm going to go still with the Rams. I don't think an 8-9 team will beat this team twice in the same season, but if it does, then then they could go. If you can beat the Rams, you can go to the Super Bowl, but it wouldn't be great.
Yeah. I'm also choosing the Rams, but if it flips, we've got some stuff to talk about next week. So
yeah.
Let's jump down. Bills Jags. This one's maybe a little closer than you think.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence has looked really good these last couple of weeks. They brought in Jacoby Myers. Parker Washington has been really good. They have just a ton of weapons. Brian Thomas has gotten healthy. They got Brendan Strange healthy. I don't know if Buffalo's defense can slow him down, but man, I think I still want to go with the Buffalo Bills, and this might be my heart more than my brain here, because I feel some sort of, I identify with the Bills a lot on the AFC side because they have the 4 Super Bowl losses just like we do. So I kind of root for Josh Allen and Buffalo to do well. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills winning that.
When it comes down to it for me, every time I see Josh Allen play in a serious game, he is out there, his body on the line. And really the only team in the postseason he loses to, as we all know, the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes. And it's some dumb rule. It's not due to bad play or bad execution, right? So I think we're going to get, second gear Josh Allen coming in. And I get it. Like, that Buffalo defense, it's thin. And the Jaguars are going to have plenty of opportunities. It's my prediction. This is going to be the highest scoring game of the entire wild card. And we know that the Jaguars can put up some serious points, and I think they are going to. But we also know Josh Allen is not just going to sit on the sidelines and watch them put up serious points unless he's doing the same. It's going to be a closer game. I think it's going to be a field goal game, and I'm going to give it to the Jaguars.
To the Jags.
The Jags.
Well, I thought I was going to be the only one, but I also think the Jags win this one. I think the Bills, after this game, the serious has the window closed conversations will start. We already this year, they were talking about like, hey, he doesn't have any wide receivers. Who are these people who are his wide receivers? And, but they still, the New England Patriots are better, but they're still in there. I think with this loss, which I think the Jags are going to win, I think everybody then starts going, what's Josh Allen got there? Do they even have any left? So sad, because I've been a Bills fan for a long time, wanting them to win. They haven't. It's always been because of the Chiefs. And this year, no Chiefs. And if there's no win, what happens to that team? Let's go on. 49ers, Eagles. I'm going 49ers on this one. I'm going to start one since you guys have each started one. I think the 49ers back in the beginning, I'm like, oh, they're too hurt. They're dumb. They're not going to make it. They're going to fall off. Now we're going to see who they really are. And they just never have. And Brock Purdy's back. Christian McCaffrey's back. Yeah, they still got backups of backups at some positions, but they're doing it. And I think they're gonna do it against the Eagles, and the Eagles are gonna be out first round this year, and everybody's gonna be like, oh man. But I think 49ers.
Yeah, I'm torn between two different theories because I have whenever Matthew picks the 49ers, pick the opposite theory this season that has seemed to be working out. And then there's also the never pick Philadelphia theory. But I'm going to go with Philadelphia, and I think their defense is good enough to stop the San Francisco offense. And I trust Jalen Hurts a little bit more than I trust Brock Purdy and the weapons that they have, especially if the 49ers are down to third string linebackers. Even though Robert Saleh has been able to make it work, we'll see if that is the case here. But I think the Eagles win this.
Yeah, it's hard to play with multiple strings of people, right? Trying to piece together your defense. I agree. Robert Saleh has done a superb job, but the real people that are going to break that are going to be people like Saquon Barkley. Saquon will take on first strings every day of the week and get 15 yards a carry. Like on third strings, 20 yards a carry, right? He has that drive. I like a heavier running game with some flashy passes down the field mixed in on play action for the Eagles, and I give the game to the Eagles.
Okay. Then we got the Patriots Chargers. Who wants to kick this one off?
I think I don't want to just keep picking the road team, but I guess
you can change your pick for the Packers. You can change your pick for the Packers. It's all
right. Man, I think that the Chargers, the Patriots defense has not been their strength. And that's how you get to the Chargers, is by having a strong defensive line and getting pressure on Justin Herbert. I don't know if the Patriots are going to be able to do that. And maybe the Chargers defense is like the quarterbacks are both very good. I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. I'm going to go with the Chargers, and he's going to get his first playoff win.
I'll go second here. I think the Patriots have looked great, but they had unquestionably the easiest schedule. They lost 3 times, won 14 times. They had a super easy schedule. I think the Chargers are going to win this one. I do think the Patriots have gotten better. I think they started off needing that easy schedule, but they did beat some teams that were good, and they got here. But I think the Chargers are going to win this one.
Just some breaking news real quick. John Harbaugh and the Ravens have agreed to part ways. Josh Haupt sending us the tweet from Ian Rappaport on the group chat.
John Harbaugh. Ooh.
Another coach coming on out.
That is not one I mean.
Are there rules against him going and consulting with another team in the postseason this close to parting ways? Does he go to the Chargers for this game?
Or to the Texans to try and beat the Steelers again.
Or to the Texans, right? That's a spicy one. I did not see that coming in our coaching carousel.
I also did not. I thought Lamar maybe, but John. Whew.
There you go. So
all right, I'm going to make my pick, and I'm going to hop off.
Okay. You're not just going to say on the last one. Do this one and then just say on the last one Texans Steelers. But this one, Chargers Patriots.
Yeah. I'm going to go Patriots.
Okay.
I like the young upside. Now Matthew knows, since he has entered the league, I have been a big fan of Justin Herbert. There is no denying that, and I'm not denying that Justin Herbert is not a good quarterback. I still believe that he is.
You went for Justin Herbert, and Josh went for you went for Drake May, and he went for Justin Herbert in this, and that's like you guys have been the proponent of the opposite, like most of the time I've known you.
But I like to see a new regime come down under a well-run organization, right? Not making any ties there at all. But I like to see the Patriots get a little bit of confidence under them as their young selves. If you want to bring back this new dynasty talk, I mean, you can bring it back. But I think at least one postseason victory for Drake May is more than appropriate. Okay. I think it's good. Let me hop our final game, Texans Steelers. I think we all know I'm going to go with a man that has shown me much love throughout my time as a Packers fan. I think the Steelers win it at home. and Aaron Rodgers advances mid-round of the playoffs.
Oh man. Okay. He's got to hop off after that one. Brandon, we'll see you later. Have a good day. We're going to continue on talking about this last game, and then we're going to hop off. But see you, Brandon.
Yeah. So the team that I think I would not want to face if I'm the Houston Texans is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think the Texans have one of the best teams in the NFL because of their defense. And unfortunately, what the Steelers do neutralizes everything that the Texans defense, all of their strengths. The Steelers like to run the ball with huge formations, so you're not going to get pass rush from Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter. And when you pass the ball, you're not going to be passing it to wide receivers more often than not, because they've been throwing it to tight ends and running backs so often this season. So Kamari Lassiter, Derek Stingley have a lesser role in this game. Jalen Petrie has a lesser role in this game. I think the Steelers win this game. Also, Aaron Rodgers, when you do have the chance to pass rush him, Aaron Rodgers gets the ball out quicker than anybody. He just doesn't take sacks. He almost purposefully tried to thwart Myles Garrett from getting the sack record. And Myles Garrett said that was the game plan against him, is they were not trying to win. They were trying to stop me from getting the sack record, and they were able to do that. So they know how to neutralize pressure. They know how to run the ball well, and their defense and their defensive line is good, even if it's old. They can overrun Houston's offensive line, which is their biggest weakness on offense. So I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win this game.
And keeping it interesting, I say Houston's going to win this one. I think Aaron Rodgers gets it out fast, but that defensive line is a monster. And I think they're going to give him more trouble than he anticipates. And I think that's going to be, and I think CJ Stroud can play. And I think he's going to make just enough plays. I think Houston beats Pittsburgh here. I don't know if they would beat the Chargers, and I don't know if if Chargers actually win it. And I don't know if Jacksonville could beat Denver, but wouldn't that be weird to see two AFC South teams in the championship round? That would be weird. But I do think Houston's going to win here against Pittsburgh. And yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more to say.
Two AFC South teams, neither of which were leading the division and the league with point differential before our last show.
Right. Now, do I think they're going to make that championship round? Not necessarily, but
it would be interesting.
It would be interesting. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. I think we're going to hold off, Josh. I know you wanted us to talk about Hall of Fame picks. We got time for that. That's not till August. We're going to hold off on that one, and we're going to get off here for today. But hey, we thank you guys for coming back. We're sorry we've been off so long. We're going to be back now through the playoffs, hopefully all the way up to the Super Bowl, seeing what's going on. Thanks for joining us, y'all. We'll see you all next time right here on the Football Fandemic. Thanks for watching.